Walker Buehler, the bullpen, Kike Hernandez, Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy, everything clicked on the road against a very good Mets team. Remember the year Carson Wentz got hurt? The Eagles were so well constructed, their roster was so good, that Carson Wentz was having an MVP season, gets hurt at the most crucial position. Not only do they beat the Vikings 38-7 in the NFC Championship, they beat the Patriots, and they don't punt against Belichick. Remember that team so well constructed that despite losing a quarterback, they win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. That's what the Dodgers are. Look at what they're missing on their staff. Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, Kershaw, Dustin May, Gavin Stone, Joe Kelly. If you add up what they're missing, it's 12 All-Star appearances, 3 Cy Youngs, MVPs, multiple World Series titles. They have no business being here. It could be worse. Their ace, Yamamoto, he got hurt. Thankfully, he's back. But last night was classic Dodgers. Walker Buehler, he has had a really rough couple years. Second inning, bases loaded. He punches out the final 2 batters, including the great Francisco Lindor, gets out of the inning. And then the Dodgers bullpen, 5 stingy innings. Who are these guys? Backing up backups, guys they've had to figure out, and this was the front office comes into play. These are not guys you thought you'd have to depend on. In fact, the Dodgers became, I think it's the first team all time to give you 3 scoreless postseason appearances. Ohtani's now hitting, always with men on base. Kike Hernandez, because of an injury, he's now been inserted into the lineup. He wasn't going to play this much. So it's just remarkable to watch what the Dodgers are doing here. It's bullpen. It's Walker Buehler. It's Dave Roberts. It's an incredible front office. And this is where stability matters. This is where the R&D, this is where your minor league system, this is where having depth matters. Yeah, you can say it's all about money, but the Yankees have had money forever. There's a lot. Atlanta's had money forever. The Dodgers have had money forever. But in crisis, any real realtor can sell a house when the market's hot and the interest rates are low. Any realtor can sell it. Try selling homes when the market's crashing. What you're watching with the Dodgers should not be happening. Their pitching injuries, they shouldn't be here. And let's watch Kike Hernandez and Shohei Ohtani. First team in Major League history with 3 8-run shutouts in a single postseason. And that is incredible. And Walker Buehler, here's a guy, Tommy John surgery. He was this kid that comes into the organization. And this is what we've been talking about the last 2 years with the Dodgers. They can't keep pitchers healthy. I'm not blaming anybody. Nobody's healthy. I gave you the list. It's incredible. I mean, it would be like losing, 70% of your offensive line, your top 2 receivers, and having a chance to win a Super Bowl. I mean, even Patrick Mahomes lost his left tackle after losing his right tackle, goes to a Super Bowl, gets blown out. Even Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, we can't solve it. How are they here? What are they doing? That's second inning for Walker Buehler. That is the stuff legends are made of. Struggling, scrapping. Then he gets 5 innings from that Dodger bullpen. It's just incredible. It's amazing when you get these big payroll teams in Major League Baseball. And you can go back to the great Yankee teams with Bernie and Jeter and Posada. And there was always a Scott Brocious that you could throw in, or there was somebody that wasn't as high profile. And a lot of these great baseball teams that have all this money, and you look at the Dodgers, and they spent $1 billion and pushed it down the road, but they have had a lot of turbulence this year, a lot of injuries to deal with. And last night was sort of the classic patchwork, make it work, bullpen. Buehler gets out of a jam. Kike Hernandez is now playing much more than he was scheduled to because of another injury. And everybody is seemingly delivering in the biggest spots. It's something to behold. Okay, so yesterday I suggested bad week. Bad week for Jerry Jones. Team worst loss, home loss in Jerry Jones' history as an owner dating back to 1989. And that's saying something. First year he bought the team, they were 1-15. So this past week, and they just keep getting blown out at home. It's the Saints. It's the Ravens. It's the Packers last year. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's Detroit this weekend. And then he goes on an interview this week, and he picks on some local radio hosts in Dallas. And I should replace you guys because they're asking legitimate questions like they should. They're not house guys. They're not pom-pom wavers. They're asking the question. I mean, we're all conduits here, right? Like media people are essentially conduits. We serve a certain purpose, whether you like us or not, and all the Dallas radio guys were doing was being conduits to all the questions all the fans in Dallas have about the organization, and Jerry got pissy, and now the city is all over Jerry Jones. So I suggested yesterday their biggest problem is that they don't even stack up. Forget the AFC. Forget the Ravens and the Bills and the Chiefs and the Texans. They don't even stack up to San Francisco, Green Bay, Detroit. If you watch Green Bay and all their weapons, it's incredible. It's like an all-star team of young guys, none of them getting paid yet. They're all excellent. San Francisco, Hall of Famers everywhere. Detroit, San Francisco, but a younger version. Dallas doesn't stack up. They need a big swing. Trade Micah is my suggestion. Get another first-round pick. You have 2 first-round picks. Go get another receiver. Go get the running back from Boise State. Give Dak help. You're already invested in Dak. You've got to get him help and make that contract work. Forget your defense. Nobody's winning Super Bowls with defense. If that was the case, the Steelers would be stacking them in the last decade. Make your offense viable. You're already committed to Dak. Get somebody next to Zach Martin on the interior. Go get another receiver. Get a top tight end. Go get a running back. Flood the market, offense, pay for it, whatever. But Albert Breer came on the show yesterday and suggested there is another way to make up ground on the Packers or the Niners or the Lions in the NFC.
Bill Belichick would give them that credibility again. And Bill Belichick would probably give them the ability to manage some of these things and make a decision on Micah Parsons, whether you trade him or sign him long term, and then go and build a middle class. They need foot soldiers. They have the big pieces, and Bill Belichick's always been really good at building that part of a team.
He would definitely, Belichick would, shore up the defense. There are pieces. But Belichick is nobody's puppet. Charlotte Jones, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones Jr., multiple Jones, too many Joneses. Too many keeping up with the Joneses. There's no way Belichick's going to be a puppet. If you go look at Belichick's draft room in New England, it was him, his dog, in a small room in Nantucket. That was the draft room. If you go and look at Dallas's draft room, it's like a Game of Thrones council meeting. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Big family. Hey, Bill, we're going to draft a tight end, whether you like it or not. That's not going to work. So, and also, I don't like the idea that basically, if you think about it, what Albert Breer says, it would give them credibility. Well, it would. I'm not denying that, but so did Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells. How did it end? You can't hire a coach because he gives you credibility. You have to hire a coach who is offensively dynamic, because that's where the league's turned, who doesn't have to control personnel and is comfortable with you running the draft. The Cowboys don't draft terribly. They have misses like everybody else. They're not a terrible draft team. I don't know if they develop guys. They tend to overpay guys, but they draft pretty well. But you can't, the intention in the NFL is get good on offense, get your quarterback. So between Jerry and Dak, there are major roadblocks here. My take is, since you have invested in Dak, I wouldn't have spent that. But since you did, you've got to make it work. Like you see companies do this all the time. They invest in some new technology. Apple invests. Okay, now you got to make it work. You have to go get a star running back. I suggested Derrick Henry last year. It would cost you $8 million at the trade deadline. You wouldn't do it. You got to get another receiver across from CeeDee Lamb. Zach Martin's getting old. Make sure you get a top-flight center. You may have to pay for that on the market. But once you've invested in Dak, you have to make it work. You can't just hire somebody. I mean, Mike Vrabel's my choice for all these openings. Last year I said, get Harbaugh will be the best coach on the market. Chargers, hire him. I think Vrabel's the best coach on the market. I don't know if he wants the Jets or wants the Cowboys. He's younger than Belichick. He doesn't have the need to control the personnel to the same level as Belichick. Bill would be fine. Vrabel, in my opinion, the energy, the youth, working with others would be better. But if you're just hiring for credibility, that's not the answer. That just doesn't work. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.